people with albinism are being killed because of superstition. If you get the body parts of albino, you'll become rich. So people started to hunt us like with the animals. People started to chop us because they want to become rich.
Josephat Torna is one of about 100,000 albino people living in Tanzania. In East Africa, albinism is relatively common. 1 in 3,000 children are born albino versus 1 in 200,000 in the US. Since 2000, a series of murders have left more than 72 albino people dead in Tanzania. These murders are believed to have been motivated by a lucrative trade of albino body parts that some believe to have magical properties. In January 2015, Tanzania banned witch doctors. The government believes they have fueled these attacks by convincing people to sell them albino body parts to make talismans. The hands and feet of albino people, usually children, are believed to bring prosperity or to ward off bad luck. But this ban on witch doctors doesn't mean Josephat's work is over. He's an albino activist in Tanzania who is dedicating his life to raise awareness and acceptance towards albino people. Thank you. So firstly, I just wanted to touch on your personal story. What was it like growing up as an albino person here in Tanzania?
If you have this condition, you are someone who is like a ghost. It means you are not really a human being. So that's why if you are born with this different color, like what I have now, it's really an issue. For example, when I was born, my mother was advised to poison me because at that time it was like a curse, you know, it was like a shame. People, they do not have a knowledge who we are. I mean, what the causes of albinism is. When I was about 7 years, my mother took me to, to go to the school. It was really a struggle. I was only a child with albinism in a 1,000 children who are black. And it was now very difficult because they didn't want the children, to sit close by me. It's because they thought albinism is something which you can contaminate with touching or with clothes. So I suffered again, and I faced challenges because, children or people with albinism, they are facing low vision problem. And when I was in the classroom, I was not able to tell the teacher that I cannot see because I was afraid if I say maybe the children, again, they will laugh at me. For sure, to be born with this color, it is really a challenge.
And what about adults with albinism in Tanzania? What kind of life can they expect?
People do not know what albinism is. For example, when I wanted to marry, it was really an issue. I faced a lot of challenges. My wife, we are together, when I started to process, she was like, I cannot be married by you, People will not understand well why I decided to choose you. Then I said, what is the difference, me and you? We are still a human being. If I cut my blood and if you cut your blood, it could be the same. I decided to preach more about dignity. So it is really very difficult, but especially in the past years, to marry a person who do not have an albinism.
What sort of health issues do albino people face here?
As you know, in Africa, we have a strong sun. We have very little melanin. So the sun rays which comes to us is really burnt us. Many of us, we do not reach the adult stage because of the skin cancer. We lack, sun cream lotion, education to explain what is the albinism, what are the causes. We lack also, dermatologists. So people with the albinism die, 80% die at home. They are not able to access health services because of poverty and because of negative attitudes. because of infrastructure problem.
What is the average lifespan of an albino person in Tanzania?
Yeah, it's 40 to 30. Now,
30 to 40 years
yes,
old?
yes.
Unfortunately, over the last few years, there has been a string of murders specifically targeting albino people. Can you tell us why? How has that happened?
People with albinism are being killed because of superstition. If you get the body parts of albino, you'll become rich. So people started to hunt us like with the animals. People started to chop us because they want to become rich. Since 2007 up to now, in 2014, 73 people were killed. And 11 people now are injured. It means they have got, disability. They lost their arms, they lost their limbs, and we started to live in fear for sure. Because, the community members, like the family members, started to sell their fellows. Like my family, if I'm not careful, they are able to bargain and, they sell me.
Even your own family?
Yeah, exactly. I have found many parents that are being even convicted to this. They sold their children to the killers. The question is, who is behind to these killings? People are saying traditional healers. People are saying politicians. People are saying, fishermen. People are saying those people who are operating like mining work. Why these body parts are being sold in a high price? Who is the main consumer? These are the big questions.
So you think that behind these killings of albino people, it's very wealthy businessmen?
There are those people who have enough resources. Means it could be business people because they want to increase more resources. It could be politicians. Many, decision makers are going to the traditional healers to ask a help. You see? So I cannot say directly they are politicians, but there is a sense there are those people who have enough resources. And really, I blame them.
How has your own personal safety played out over the last few years?
I decided to organize a peace walk demonstration all over the country where the president of Tanzania, he was a guest of Hana. This time, I started to get threats, like getting, text messages telling me that you have to stop talking, you have, you are not allowed to speak. And in 2012, I was attacked.
Can you just explain what happened when you were attacked?
There was a killing in Arusha. So I decided to organize myself to go there and to speak with the community because I was very angry. Sure. Why we are being killed, why we are Tanzanian people. We have to be protected. We are human beings. Don't kill us, yeah? So these people who are dealing with this business, they were angry because I was taking action. So in the midnight, the hotel where we were, these people, they came, they broke my door, and then they were pulling me from my room to another car, which they have. Police were there, they were able to catch them.
That's lucky.
Yeah.
As you've just described, it's obviously extremely dangerous. Was there a defining moment which made you think, right, I'm going to devote the rest of my life to activism for albino rights?
I feel very bad to see, like innocent people with albinism who are now suffering discrimination, suffering killings and attacks. Many children with albinism and the people with albinism are being forced to go to live to the centers. Hundreds of people with albinism. This work I will continue to do until I see the liberation of people with albinism, the freedom.
So what are your goals now? What are you pushing the Tanzanian government to do?
I'm pushing to the government, to the Tanzania government, is to protect us. Is to increase more efforts. The government should have a dialogue with the community to explain about these issues. Because we are Tanzanian citizens. We need to be protected like other people, the way how they are being protected. So I will continue to fight. I will not give up, for sure, until when I see people with albinism now are living like other people. It's my calling.
Bye.